I spit effortlessly, a rhyme I have sat on for no more than a half year. The guys started to cheer again. Ah, did not know you had some skill rhyming. And you can sing, looks like we have a keeper. Dame said as the cheers died down. I then realized that there's not an act out there that did both. I mean sometimes they would sing a hook or two. Last guy that did both was Yaw, and 50 got him out of the game quick. I took the compliment to my head. I started to think I could teach the guys something. I decided to teach them how to sell drugs. If I were loud enough everybody would not suspect me as being an undercover cop. After you get the work, you take it to the stash spot. Break it down into smaller units. Make sure you have lookouts for the cops. Let us stop being compassion for each other. It is us against them. We cannot fight a battle on multiple fronts. With the way we are out there on the streets we are on a losing path. So first off, settle all my beefs. Pay me 10% and I will make sure from 1 to 6 a.m. is a hustle-free zone from the 12s. This does not mean we keep our guard down. Keep the lookouts active while the hot boys sell from the stash spot. Being a night owl now will help doing this hustle since the hours are so late. Quote. I say, Chicago, keep up the good work. Be more, NYC, Miami, Detroit, Akron, Kansas City, Wilmington, Philly, Denton, LA, let us get this money. They not going to hand us reparations. We have to raise every penny. The cell got quiet. I was pleased with myself. A lot of what I was saying was coming off top, but it made sense to me. I take a drink from the sink and realized I had a toilet in the cell. I flushed it. I then realized I could flush it within seconds. So, I had the bright idea to cause an uproar. Come on, yell. Flush your toilets till the pressure stop. If we keep it up, they must do something. We must resist. We not even originally from this country. This got to be illegal to hold us in their prison system. Let us not give in to their rules. We are better than this. I say meaning every word I say. Truth or not, I was on one. I could not hear anyone over me flushing there. I thought they were all playing along. We had a small army going against the system. I was too hype. I soon grew bored, but as soon as I felt this dame spoke. I man, what is it that you want, man? Quote. Dame asked. Funny, I had no idea what I wanted now. But in the moment, I said, guns, and I meant it. I could hear laughter. But I meant it, guns, huh? What are you going to do with all of them guns? Do you have a plan? Quote. Dame asked. Keep them away from man. I say, not knowing where that came from. About right now, what you trying to do? Dame asked. I want out of this cell. I want to go to the next room. Quote. I speak. What makes you think there's a new room? Quote. Dame asked. Quote. I do not know. I just have a feeling that there's more to this. Quote. I speak. Well, there's another room you can get to, but you have to remember exactly what I say. When the CO comes by, tell him, sir, I am afraid I will kill myself if I am kept in this room. I need help. Quote. Dame said. I memorized what he said. The next guard that came by I repeated. Sir, I am afraid I will kill myself if I am kept in this room. I need help. Quote. I say trying to mean every word. Alone in the void. I black out, but in this blackout, I am watching myself in third person. I could see the whole 360 around me. I was not out of the cell, but I could see through the walls. The mirror was not a mirror. It was a hole in the wall. The door was red and pulsating. I could still hear Dame, but it was in the back of my mind. I was talking back to a memory. I was an usher for a wedding. Shane's aunt was getting married at church. Shane was the other usher at the door. It was an amazing memory because I remembered wishing I were the groom, because the bride was a 10. Pastor Ward married them and we ate at the firehouse. I did not know why I was picked to usher. Randy was a way better usher. He knew the signs and formations. All I knew how to do was seat PPL and hand out programs. I felt sore when I came to. I guess I got my ass whipped again. Shame on me. I was in a room with a sink toilet like the last room, but this one did not have a bunk. There was a hard plastic bed in the middle of the room, looked like a mummy's tomb. Oh, and I was naked. I could see there was 2 cameras in my cell. I guess it was there to make sure they could stop me from causing harm to myself. I could tell autopilot took over because I came to standing. I was wondering if I was near Dame. I yelled Dame. No response. It felt like I was in the area alone. A while had passed, and I was given paperwork that the CO was pressing charges because I had injured his ear when I struck him. I did not show how happy I was because this let me know I was still undercover status. I knew something they did not know. When I say them, I meant the inmates. But I still had to play along. I had a door with a window in it. I also had a window in the back of the cell. Hey man, you see the symbol under your window? Somebody said. I could tell they were white. I looked, not on the door, so I looked under the window on the back of the cell. It was a yin-yang symbol. Center yourself. You don't have to think about hurting yourself if you center yourself. He said. I did not say anything. It was not Dame, and I did not want to give away an information. I studied the picture in the circle. It felt holy to look at, but I was not going to give in. I am a Baptist. We believed in Jesus, not some Chinese stuff. I ripped up the paperwork, and paced the cell, feeling hotter with every step I took. Then someone asked, do you see Mike Tyson? Huh, I asked, wondering who asking the question. Look in the mirror. Do you see him? The voice asked. I focused on the mirror in my reflection, and to my surprise, my features turned into Mike Tyson's face. I was taken aback. Without hesitation I scared the face away by focusing on Tyson's eyes. I did not believe in magic until this moment. Who else do you see? The voice asked, like it knew I had conquered the first test. Bruce Lee. I speak. Really? That's wild. You on some other shit. Which mean you set for now, but you gonna make it back to yourself. What they call you? The voice asked. Rashim. I say again. That's deep. To start from Rashim, your way up is in all directions. Wish I had come up with that first. The voice says, what was I doing to end up in this room naked? I asked. I want my clothes back. Look around you. Tell what you see. You were doing something they didn't want you doing. The voice said. I looked around. On the door I could see pictures of very intricate male and female drawings. I counted 9 to get me. This time it seemed to be Holly in a way I could not understand. Very intricate to look at. On the wall I could see a stick figure holding a gun and pointing it to my rear of the cell with a child under the gun. The figure was also holding a sword. The gun was a calico cat like Underworld. What you gonna do if they come back again? The voice asked. I'm going to fuck 'em up. It's gonna take about 20 of them. I say to the direction I think the voice is coming from. I was getting my bearings when an inmate was at my door trying to talk to me. I get myself together and move towards the window in the door. The guy at the door was at least 6 feet 3 inches. Large black man did not look like someone that anyone wanted to mess with. What's going on? I asked. You keep fighting. They wanted to see if I could calm you down. What did you take? He asked. Weed, some coke, I think. They just had to take my clothes. Why is there voodoo on the walls and shit in here? I ask as I look around again. Don't ask me, I just got here. He spoke. I then start to name things around me. I was on the wall with Kalia facing China. The guy outside the cell is Randy. The person watching me on video was my best friend from Church Allen. I then start to name the figures on the door. The one, the connection, something you do not know, the mimic, the entertainment, human nature, and then God. I look at the cold cement floor. Looks like dark storm clouds. Yerp, you good, said a voice, not being Dame or Randy. I'm good, fuck these guards, they keep jumping me. I speak. I then realize that voice could be coming from inside my head. I then get quiet and move towards Randy. Hey man, what I got to do to get out? I asked. You got to be cleared, and it would help if you stopped fighting them. He said. I then look at the yin-yang symbol at the back of the cell. While I was looking at the symbol, Randy was still talking to me. I was not following what he was saying. I was trying to walk the middle way. I was trying to find balance in this cell. So, then I start singing songs from my old church, Community Baptist Church. We're blessed in the city, we're blessed in the fields. We are blessed they come or when they go he cast down every stronghold. Sickness and poverty must cease. For the devil is defeated, we are blessed. Late in the midnight hour, he is gonna turn around. He is gonna work in our favor. Oh, I said late. My God, Hess gonna work it out. We are blessed in the city, we are blessed in the fields. We are blessed they come or when they go he cast down every stronghold. Sickness and poverty must cease. For the devil is defeated, we are blessed. I sing. As the hours turned into days, I found myself praying again, but this time with a different intensity. Not for rescue or redemption, but for clarity. For the strength to face whatever lay ahead. I wasn't sure who I was anymore. But one thing was clear, I couldn't run from the truth forever. Chapter 10. Her name is Sophia. Solitary confinement. July 17, 23, 2005. The first nights without sleep felt like a years. Solitude has a way of stretching time, and in the absence of sleep, seconds began to claw at my sanity. I sat hunched on the cold floor of my cell, staring at the empty gray walls. My eyes burned from the effort of keeping them open. No sleep, no food allowed, not even for a moment. The voice wouldn't let me, Atlantis. The word cut through the silence like a blade. I flinched, looking around for the source, but there was no one else there. Who's there? I whispered, my voice cracked and dry. Sophia needs you. The name echoed, pulling at something buried deep in my spirit. The voice wasn't loud, but it was relentless. It spoke again and again, each repetition hammering the name into my mind until it became a drumbeat. By the second day, I was repeating it too. The shadow on the wall. The third night, if it was night at all, the shadow appeared. At first, it was just a smudge of darkness cast by no light. But as I stared, it began to shift, shaping itself into the outline of a woman. Sophia, I murmured. The shadow flickered, then seemed to nod. The voice returned, guiding me. She is trapped. The lion holds her. You must free her and reconnect her to the light. I pressed my palms against my temples, trying to make sense of the words. What light? How do I free her? The shadow didn't answer, but I felt its presence, strong and unyielding. Repent, the voice said. Symbols and revelation. By the fourth day, my mind was running on fumes. The scribbles on the wall, things I had ignored before, began to make sense. 7 figures, menacing and cruel, surrounded a central figure trapped in chains. The lion stood at the forefront, its claws gripping Sophia. They're the archons, I muttered. The rulers of this world. The voice was clearer now, cutting through the fog of exhaustion. You must find the light. Jesus will guide you. At the mention of his name, I felt a flicker of hope. Jesus, the angel of the Lord, was here visibly, dressed like a prisoner, shielding me from the lion's wrath. The 5th day was the worst. The lion appeared, in physical form outside the cell. Its growls vibrated in my chest, threatening to crush my resolve. You will not take her, it seemed to say. The voice pushed back, urging me to hold firm. Sing praises, cry out for all that is good. I sang. My voice was weak, trembling, but it rose above the growls. Each note felt like a weapon, chipping away at the lion's hold. Preparation for the full moon. On the 6th day, Randy's voice broke through the haze. He was in the next cell, an inmate I barely knew. He slipped a piece of paper through the crack in the wall, a crude drawing of moon phases. You've got to wait for the full moon, he whispered. That's when it's strongest. That's when you'll see clearly. The 24th. It wasn't far now, but I had to survive another day in this nightmare. A glimmer of light. As the 6th day turned to the 7th, I felt the weight begin to lift. The shadow of Sophia glowed faintly, as though preparing for something. The voice grew softer, more encouraging. Everything will come to pass in God's time, it promised. I sank to the floor, my body trembling, but my spirit steadied. The battle wasn't over, but I was ready. The full moon awaited, and with it, the chance to free Sophia from the lion's grip. Chapter 11. Samson's gift. Solitary confinement had become my world, a cage of walls and whispers. The air was thick, oppressive, as if it conspired to keep me from sleep. 7 days. 7 days without rest. My mind teetered on the edge of madness, each second louder than the last. Yet through the chaos, I heard the voice, faint but unyielding. Samson, Ma sons, Sophia. The words circled like vultures, pecking at my sanity. My thoughts turned inward, grasping for clarity. The voice carried wisdom I could not yet comprehend, but I knew it was leading me toward something greater. July 23, 2005. The knock at the metal door startled me. Visits were rare, even rarer for someone like me, hidden in isolation. The door creaked open. I was taken to a room with a glass revealing my mother and father. Medea sat proud, adorned in her Eastern Star regalia, the silver and gold threads catching the faint light of the cell. Beside her, my father, stoic as always, wore his Masonic sash and apron. Their presence felt both grounding and otherworldly, like celestial messengers delivering coded instructions. Medea's voice cut through the silence. Even the moon listens to God, Rashim. Sometimes, we have to follow its pull to find the answers we seek. Now it's time for you to be quiet. We are sending our lawyer. I wanted to laugh, but the weight of her words stopped me. The moon. Its full brilliance loomed just hours away, as if it were waiting for me to act. After they left, I sat cross-legged on the cold floor, staring at the cell's meager reflection of the moonlight. The pieces began to fit. Samson's hair was the source of his strength, cut away by Delilah's betrayal. But the voice spoke of Samson as Ma sons, tying his story to Sophia and the mysteries of my own lineage. Could my hair, my 77 locks, be the tether keeping Sophia's light out of reach? Wrestled with the thought as the hours stretched on, the voice grew louder, almost impatient. The answer became unavoidable. July 24, 2005. The full moon rose, its light spilling into the cell like a heavenly flood. My heart raced. I reached for the first lock. The pain was immediate, sharp, and unrelenting. With each pull, it felt as if pieces of my soul were being torn away. Times, I whispered. Each for her light, each for. I'm sorry for leaving Jenny, leaving Rose, using Medea's money for drugs, the drugs have taken, the people I have served drugs, the laws have broken against God known and unknown. Rashim says as each dread falls. Sweat poured from my face, and tears blurred my vision. I could feel the strength leaving me, not as weakness but as a release. Each dreadlock became an offering, a prayer in physical form. The pile of hair at my feet felt both sacred and tragic. When the final lock was gone, a quiet stillness settled over me. For the first time in days, I lay back on the cold floor and closed my eyes. Sleep came like a gift, pulling me into its embrace. When I woke, the sun was rising. The cell seemed brighter, as if the light itself had changed. My parents' parting words echoed in my mind. I made it back to my cell, and soon after I was given a tray. First time since I was in the cell. As I was peeling my boiled egg, I heard that voice again in my head. A man cannot live on bread alone. Enjoy the living word. The sun was rising. Medea had promised to send a lawyer, but this felt like a spiritual battle, not a legal one. I touched my furry uneven head, still tender from the night's ritual. It was done. Whatever was coming, I was ready. Chapter 14. A New Dawn. The room was silent except for my own breathing. After days of torment, the eclipse in my mind was complete. The sacrifice was made, the silver of my 77 locks paid in full. I sat alone, the full moonlight cascading through the narrow window of my cell, illuminating the remnants of the pain that had tethered me here. My mind, once clouded and restless, now felt like a still lake reflecting the clarity of the heavens. It was the 24th of July, and I had crossed a threshold I didn't fully understand. My body ached, but my spirit felt unshackled. The lion that had stalked me in visions was gone, taking with it the shadows of doubt and fear. Jesus and Sophia seemed distant now, not as beings outside of me but as truths planted deep within. And then the voice spoke. Rashim, do you see now? It wasn't loud, nor was it soft. It resonated like a clear bell, cutting through the fog of my thoughts. Who are you? I whispered, the question tasting foreign on my tongue. I am the Christ consciousness within you, the counselor. You've known me all along, but you had to be broken open to hear me clearly. I spoke Atlantis. Me and your PPL have been working to wake you for years. The words hit me like waves, washing away the remnants of the drug that had poisoned my body and mind. Slowly, I realized that the secrets I had unintentionally revealed after the festival weren't just accidents, they were the truths I had been blind to myself. Now, as I listened to the voice, the world seemed transparent. The guards who had once taunted me now avoided my gaze. Their body language spoke louder than any words they could have hurled. They were uneasy, sensing a shift they couldn't name. For the first time, I felt no anger toward them. Instead, I saw them for what they were, fragments of a system as broken as I had been. Later that night, the voice returned during a quiet moment. You've been given Solomon's wisdom, Rashim. It's a gift, but it's also a burden. Will you wield it with care? How will I know what to do? By listening. Truth is always present. It lives in the spaces between words, in the way hands twitch or eyes shift. You see it now, don't you? I nodded, though no one was there to see. Life, Dame said. You not life no more, you Tupac. That is how we gonna remember you in here. I know you feel like you have a message to get across, but it may be too much for our PPL to understand. Pretend you are speaking to children and have no idea about what you were put through in here. You might not be able to understand what you have done here in these weeks here incarcerated. We are just now being able to digest what you were talking about. You are scaring the whites, they do not line up with your sayings, but we do, their old wise tells that. You have taken for truth. Whatever you took, makes shit feel real. Oh, and when you get out, smoke a cigarette for me, I will appreciate it life. I stayed quiet. Trying to go over in my mind what Dame said. I have awakened something in myself that made its way out around me. I then seen a friendly face. Ugly. Randy said with a smile. You good now with, yeah I'm okay, I speak, am I in the same block? Yup, but I don't think you going to be here long. He spoke. Quote dot. You on Yam way out. Remember me when they let you out of the cell. You got commissary coming. Make sure they know I am allowed to get half for keeping you company. You should have about 2 bags. On the 30th, the lawyer came. His eyes widened as he saw me, and I couldn't stop the tears from flowing. Rashim, he said, his voice thick with emotion. You're free to go. I joy-bombed him with every ounce of gratitude I had, hugging him as though he'd been the one to carry me through the trials. Gratitude. As he said this, the doors behind him opened. They came to my door and opened it. They handed me 2 bags and said I was being processed out. I then stopped and relayed what Randy had said to me, that I would like for him to get the one of the bags for keeping me company. They allowed it. As I was taken out of the block, I passed another inmate and offered the rest to him. I was then quickly guided out of the area before I could get the words out to make the exchange. They wanted me to keep my half. I was being mighty generous. I was through the exit area and seen my mom, dad and real brother Randy. All in street clothes, no Masonic gear this time. I was given another bag of my things like my wallet and jean shorts. Still missing some items of clothes, but I did not care. I had passed the mighty test of the dark and light side. And I could do nothing but give them praise and want some fast food and a cigarette. We stopped at Burger King, my fav, on the way back. And as we went to the car and lit our cigs, I noticed everyone around us smoked at the same time. A bunch of strangers sparked their lighters and lit their cigs at the exact moment as we did. I was surprised when I brought it up to my mother that she would just brush it off as coincidence. We took the long drive from Hagerstown to Denton MD stopped to get red hair dye for my hair. A step down in flare compared to my dirty blonde hair dye we used in my hair in high school. The reason for this was so I would look more presentable for my girlfriend when she came to see me at my family home in Denton. I took a shower and changed into some better, more appealing clothing. I was mixed between 2 worlds now, the inside and outside. The restraint and the freedom to do what I like if I do not get caught breaking the law. But you can get in trouble for thinking. I realized I was putting myself through tests even though I had nothing to fear, but I did not forget her shadow or his energy when I felt it in me. Do I keep this secret from the world? I think my mother knows more than she is letting on. What was it she said? Amen is our God. Yeah, our God, the way they see God, is hidden. Reminds me of The Last Dragon. It took Leroy the whole movie to find out that he was the master. All signs point to me, but I am not convinced yet.